Hey, wonderful people. This is Anna from Positive Empowerment 101, and I've got yet another amazing online business owner to have a chat with you guys today, who joined the SFM about 9 months ago. I think that's right, isn't it, Susan?
Yeah, just August, the beginning of August last year.
So yeah, it's about 9 months.
So that's just about 9 months, yeah.
Yeah. And she's here to tell us a little bit about herself and her journey, and how she came across the SFM. We're going to keep it quite light and chatty, because I just feel like that way we come across a little bit better, and you will get an insight into who Susan is as a person and who I am as a person. So I won't go on, because Susan will be able to talk about herself a lot better than I will be able to talk about her. And so I think we'll just crack on. So Susan, just give a little bit of an intro to yourself, and yeah, just a little bit of background story.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me along to do this interview with you. Really appreciate it. So back in sort of July last year time, I was looking for something. My husband had taken a part-time job just before COVID hit, actually, and who knew this particular part-time job? I think he was the busiest man in the country. So he was working all the opposite hours from me, and I found myself spending an awful lot of time on my own. So not only was I looking for something to inspire myself, in terms of my work and my job, I was also looking for something to kind of fill my time. And I was doing a wee bit of research on the internet, and an advert popped up for an online digital business. And my first thought was, when I saw the guy in the advert, my first thought was, well, if he can do it, so can I. And I actually broke every rule in the book. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't research it. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just said, I'm having a bit of that. And I clicked the button and I joined, and I went all in there and then. And I've never regretted it. I've never looked back, to be honest. So that was my entry into SFM.
So you went into the all-in package straight away. You didn't watch the free workshops. Yeah. You went, bugger it, that's what I'm doing.
I'm having it. Now, much as it's lovely when people do that and they join that way, it's actually not the best way to come in. You're actually better, at the very least, watching the free workshops, because I didn't have a clue about them, and I ended up, and it was weeks and weeks later before I went looking for them to actually watch them. So when you get the opportunity through Anna to watch the free video workshops, I would absolutely recommend that you take the time and you do that, and you do your research, and you make sure that SFM is going to be a good fit for you and for whatever it is you're looking for in life.
Yeah. So I went in through the workshops. I think we had the same referral partner, me and Susan, and I went through the free workshops. So I didn't know what the all-in package was. When I joined, that wasn't even an option. So I don't know the whole process of the all-in. So when you go all-in, is it like you just get instantly thrown into the deep end with modules? There's no build up or anything. It's just like, here's modules. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. And you get access to module 1 and 2. And I think module 2 has changed since then. Module 2 is much more a personal development module now, and it's a great program, actually. It's the Blueprint, it's called. And it's a series of tasks that take you through actually looking at yourself and your health and your wealth and your social, and kind of measuring where you're at in life and your kind of happiness levels. But the first one's about the business models and the different types of business models to allow you to make choices, I suppose. But before you can progress on, you then have to, at the end of module 2, you have to attend an orientation call.
Yeah.
and at the end of that you're given a code which then unlocks the rest of the modules for you. So you can't say, I want to do that module and I really like the sound of that module and I want to do that module, but I'm not going to bother with those because they're not my thing. You actually, there is a systematic process, and there's a reason that it's a system that works. So that, you know, the organisation wants you to work through it.
And the orientation workshops, we've all been on them. I've been on a few, gone back and reviewed them and seen them, and they're incredibly insightful and motivating. And I think we would all highly recommend visiting those calls. I remember when the early days they were talking about the OC, and I was like, why are they talking about Orange County? Like, I just didn't get it. Like, because I hadn't got that far. What is the OC? They keep going, and I'm trying to look for it, and then I realized, and I came across it, and I got to that point. It was like, no, you need to go on the. I was like, wow, now I know, I understand now.
We'll see us.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But that's the whole beauty.
Well,
sorry, that's the whole beauty of this journey.
No,
it's like there's things that you're like, oh my gosh, how did I not know that? But we've all started at that point where we've gone in completely blind and we haven't got a clue, but we work through it and we keep going. And what we didn't know yesterday, we know today, and what we don't know tomorrow, we will know the next day, you know, and it goes on from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think as well, once you get involved in things like the orientation call and the monthly visionary call as well, you actually start to get a feel for just how big a community the SFM is, because when you first go in, you think you're the only person in the world that's doing this strange business model, and you feel, you know, maybe a wee bit isolated or a wee bit kind of, I don't want to tell anybody I'm doing this because it's a bit strange and it's a bit not off the shelf. And then suddenly you're opened up to the community and you think, wow, I'm part of something much bigger, and it's wonderful.
It absolutely is, 100% is. So where are you at the moment with your digital marketing business? Where do you sit right now?
Okay, so I launched, I started in August, and I worked my way through the modules. Now, again, there's advice at the beginning to get a notebook or a journal or an electronic journal and actually journal your progress as you work your way through the modules. I didn't do any of that.
No, I didn't either.
I'll just wire in. And if I could say one thing to anybody considering doing it, get yourself a book and at each stage note down the process, where you're at and the processes and any passwords and things, because you will, as you go through the journey, need to refer back, and if you haven't taken a note of them, well, it makes life interesting. And really, as you go through the modules, you that's where you pick up your digital skills. And I came into this probably quite arrogant, actually. I thought, yeah, I know my way around a computer, I can do this. You know, I've been an admin, I've done this, I've done that. And this is a whole new skill set to anything that most of us have done before. And I actually went through most of the modules twice. Mm-hmm. So I didn't do it quickly. And I was doing it alongside a day job as well. That's on one hand, it's the beauty of it, because you can build your SFM business alongside your current day job until it's at a stage where, you know, you can use it to replace it if that's what you want to do. So I took a while to get going, and I launched in November. And I launched actually on the back of a challenge. Anna and I are part of an accountability group, and one of the members of that accountability group has what I call a virtual cattle prod.
Oh, yes.
That every now and again he brings out and says, I challenge you to do this, prod. I challenge you to do that, prod. So he challenged me, and that I said, right, well, I can't stand a challenge, you know. So I said, right, that's it, I'm going to do it. And I launched. And my advert wasn't great, and it did bring me in leads. It took a while to learn and get going, but it did bring me in leads. And it eventually kind of ran out of steam, and I decided to pull it just after Christmas. And I had tweaked and relaunched and tweaked, but actually the ad needed to go, but I just wasn't quite ready to let it go in terms of my marketing. So I stopped there. and through other challenges through the SFM community, because it is a big supportive community,
Network,
and
yeah.
people see where network and people see where you're at, and they make suggestions, and they say, have you tried this, have you joined this group? They'll show you how to do X, Y and Z. And I did that. I joined everything that was going to try and gather as much knowledge as I could. So I relaunched just about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, trying to think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, tomorrow it will be, and with a different ad, and it just seems to be gathering momentum at the moment. So I joined. I went in all in, and then I went to Elite, and then when Accelerate program was launched just before Christmas, I joined that as well. And what that gave you was an 8-week kind of intensive program with each stage of the marketing process, the funnel, the marketing, the email marketing, the lead magnets, your ads, paid marketing versus organic, which is unpaid marketing. And it took you step by step through each of those processes. And, I think on the back of that, I was more ready to market at this stage, and my business is actually starting to grow, which is wonderful. It's really exciting, actually.
It's very exciting. And I think that's the beauty of this community, is that we're all excited for you, and everyone's building everyone up and keeping people motivated, and everyone wants each other to succeed, which I find in a lot of traditional businesses, everyone's trying to step on you to move so they can move up the ladder. Whereas here it's like, come on, let's all go together. And we'll pull you up. If you need help, we're here for you. You were just saying you've joined all the groups and everything. Do you feel that was almost too much at times, that you joined too many groups, or that you need to be immersed yourselves in all these different areas to find out which is the right places to go? Like, how did you manage that and deal with that?
Okay, so I think a lot of that's about your own personality, and I'm a serial learner, and I will gather as much information as I can. And if anything, it might even be might be a symptom of procrastination. Spend so much time learning, you don't actually do anything as quickly as you should, which is where the cattle prod comes in.
I knew that was coming.
But actually, over the longer period of time, for me, it has proved invaluable, because now I have the benefit of that learning. But there were times where I thought, oh, I've got this group on that night, and I've got this group on that night, and I've got this group on that night. I've got a full-time job, I've got a house to run, got a husband, dogs, when am I going to, the only time I'm going to get to be able to do X, Y, and Z is either at 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, and there have been a couple of stages I have pulled back, and I've said to some of the people in the groups, I'm going to give it a miss for a couple of weeks just to clear my feet. And actually, and again, there are tools, both provided by SFM and tools that we've devised ourselves for time management, where you can actually look at your week. I think I was talking to someone this morning, and they called it a default diary, when you're at your most productive in particular areas. So it might be you're at your most creative first thing in the morning. So that's the time when you want to be writing your copy or recording an ad, or, for other people that they're more alert and more creative late at night, in which case that's the time they should. But actually, to plan out your week, and the planning and the time management becomes instrumental to your success, actually, because if you don't plan your time, you can find yourself getting sucked into this whirlwind of learning and working and learning and working, and it can be a wee bit overwhelming.
I 100%, 150% agree on that, because I didn't plan to begin with, and I was all over the show, and I've started planning. I have my my planner here, which every Sunday I write in everything, what's going to happen during the week, and then I get to Sunday's always clear, so then I can, apart from writing the planner, so that I can go back over anything that I've missed, and that my Sunday is dedicated to that. And I think a lot of you have already heard my story, but with I've got children, work full-time, and so me and Susan are definite candidates that you can do this alongside working full-time and having a family and other responsibilities. I just want to circle back to where we were talking about the modules, and the modules, I know when I was doing them, and they have changed a little bit from the early days, and I do need to go back and revisit them, but it's very much set on mindset, the first couple of modules, and you get to it and you're like, I just want to get onto the crux of it, I just want to start it. But I just want to kind of just really cement that that is the foundation. That is so important. If you go into this with the wrong mindset, then you've got no hope. But go into it and spend the time and take your time on these modules, because a lot of people, me included, rush through it because you just want to get to the end. You want to get to the nitty gritty, but it's really not productive.
Yeah. And I think I heard the phrase a lot at the beginning. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think a lot of us came on board, thought, right, I can build my online business, I can do this, and I can have it launched in a month or 2 months or whatever. And in actual fact, you're trying to learn to run before you can walk. And as Anna says, you want to build solid foundations, because there are going to be bits in it that are easier or come more naturally to you than others. And if you haven't got the foundation there, when you come up against the bits where you're kind of hitting your head off a wall saying, I can't do this. If you haven't built the foundations, then you'll wobble at that point. You really will. Now, that said, you have to also be open to being helped. A lot of us, we love helping other people, but we don't like asking for help. And there's a whole community there. There's the tribe. There's IT support built into the SFM that you can reach out to. Can I tell my wee funny story? I have
absolutely
to every opportunity. So if you're wondering about, digital skills that you're required, one of the things you do as part of the modules, and you are led step by step all the way through this, so please don't be frightened off by it, is you build a website. And the bit at the bottom of the website where it says cookie policy, etc., I changed the colour of the background on that because I wanted to design it and make it my own. And then when I was getting the website checked, it came back that my policies weren't quite right. And I said, I can't see any policies on there. And to cut a long story short, we emailed back and forward for a wee while, over a period of about 10 days, actually. And eventually I said, could someone just help me? I can't change what I can't find. And what I'd done was I had put them in white text on a white background, so they were actually there, just nobody could see them. So, and that was all I was waiting for, to get my website through compliance, and then I could launch.
Font issue.
I can remember thinking, oh my goodness, Susan, but I kind of hope that retail lets you know that, if I can build a website, anybody can.
Yeah, and me too. I mean, I get so busy with it, and I'm like, oh, I've got to do this, and I click buttons and I delete things. I'm like, what have I done? And then I've used support a lot too, and they have been absolutely phenomenal. And there is no dumb question. There's completely are open to answering anything. I think I've sent them things, but I can't find the button to click on it, and I just haven't scrolled down far enough or something stupid like that. But they're very helpful, very supportive. Okay, so your business is called digital. Let me say it again. I can't spit my word out. Digital Infinity Lifestyle, and you've got a website all set up for this, haven't you? Yeah. As we've just discussed, and there you do a bit of blogging. And so what's the method, what's your theory behind your website? Like what is it that you're trying to deliver and provide to other people?
Okay, so first of all, obviously the word digital, because it is an online digital business, so it's a laptop. I can't speak either this morning.
Well, let's spit our teeth out.
it's the laptop lifestyle, if you want to use a cliche, because being digital, you can work from anywhere at any time that you choose to, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. So that was the digital bit of it. The infinity bit of it was the possibilities are limitless. The possibilities are endless. They can grow to infinity. And that's where that can come in. But I also like the idea of it's endless and it keeps going round and circles back, but there's no end to it, if that makes sense. And it's also an enclosed symbol where, you know, you're supported, you're held within something.
Wow.
I don't know if that sounds a bit
That's
strange.
so powerful. No, it's awesome. That's awesome.
My mindset behind it. And obviously the lifestyle is whatever you choose that lifestyle to be. It may be that financially you want a low-key lifestyle where you're giving to people, or it may be that you want to have a fabulous house and live on the beach, or
drive a Ferrari.
Drive a Ferrari. It can be, the lifestyle is your choice of lifestyle, whatever that may be.
Yeah. So I'd highly.
That's the ethos behind it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's breaking it down like that really explains your vision behind it all. Now, when you were thinking about designing a name and starting a domain, because for me, I was scared to put something in like digital or online or something like that, because I know nothing about it. So mine's positive empowerment, because I'm really passionate about empowering others. So did you have those fears at all when you decided, right, digital, that's, you know, because you didn't know anything about it? It's like you're putting yourself out there as a marketer of the digital lifestyle.
I think naivety, downright stupidity.
No, brilliant.
I don't know. I kind of, I threw a couple of ideas about. I didn't spend, a lot of people spend a lot of time really kind of digging deep to get their business name, and I didn't. And actually, at the point where I come up with the business name, I wasn't 100% sure of the direction that my business was going to go in, to be honest, which is why I became an affiliate for SFM, because in terms of a business idea per se, I didn't have that. And that's one of the other beauties of this. We can help you build a business, even if you don't have a business idea. And a lot of people come into this wanting a business, not knowing what, and they learn the skills, they create their website, and actually it's only in doing all of that that they start to find that thing, whatever that thing is for you.
Penny drops.
And they quite often, after they've been in a wee while, go off on a particular direction. And I wanted my website to reflect the ethos of what was going on in my head with the digital and the infinity and the lifestyle, but I wanted it to be fluid enough that it could take a different shape or a different form. And as I said, I threw words about, did a wee bit, but it was done in a night. I mean, I know there's people spend weeks, you know, worrying and researching it, and that mine was done in a night. I was like, oh, that'll do. I'll have that.
So what I'll do in this email, or if you're watching it on YouTube, I'll put Susan's link to her website there. So go and have a look at it and see how she's designed it and how she's written her blogs and how it's set up. And that might just give you a little bit of insight into where you've gone from nothing to something pretty amazing. So I'll put that in there. Also, Susan, you have, talking about branching off a little bit, you're still down that affiliate marketing route, but you've also started delving into a new business venture for yourself. If you can talk us through that.
So basically, I was approached by someone who I know I met through the SFM, actually. So it was someone I trusted, and a lot about, you know, marketing and business and how you expand comes from that. It's about building relationships as much as anything else, and who you trust. And that was it was a Forex opportunity, actually, and it was an education platform whereby it was using artificial intelligence, AI software, to get the best out of the Forex exchange. So my husband and I decided to do that together. The SFM business is really mine. Although he's very supportive, I'm lucky that way. I've got 100% support. The Forex business is really done together. So yeah, it started that about December, and I've changed software. The platform that I started out with really was probably more of an intermediate level, and I went straight into it. And of course, being the kind of person I am, you can run a live demo account where you're playing with chocolate money rather than your own for a month or so before you say, right, okay, I'm going to put my own money into this. I didn't. I just stuck my own money into it and went for it before I really knew what I was doing. How not to do things and how not to build a business. Learn from my mistakes, please. Anyway, so did that. There was a wee glitch in the markets 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that was a real learning experience for us, because it was it was the markets reminding us what they can do, where they turn with really unexpectedly. And that can have a significant impact on your savings. That wee caveat with anything financial that says capital at risk, it is, right? Don't let anybody tell you. And if anybody tries to involve you in a financial business and tries to undermine that wee bit of small writing at the bottom, run away. Okay, because the people who are trustable, who will support you through building a business or building your savings through Forex, will tell you about the risks, and they will not try to hide it from you. Now, that said, I have recently changed to a software that we're not allowed to call set and forget, so I didn't call it that. Okay, I didn't say set and forget, but anyway, I did, and that's growing nicely.
Oh, that's lovely. That is great. And if anyone wants to hear a bit more about Forex, you can contact Susan as well, and I'll also put that link below, because it seems to be quite a force out there. I had no idea about it, but I know there's a few other affiliates who are quite high up that have jumped on the Forex bandwagon and are doing very well with it too. So if you're looking at another avenue, click on the link for Susan's details, if you don't mind, that is. And you can have a chat with her.
If I can also just say something about that, what you've touched on there, Anna, is that there are people in the SFM business who are successful, and what they're doing is they are using another income stream. By the money that they're making from SFM, they are putting some of it into a Forex pot, which is growing it far better than it would be if it was sitting in a bank or what else. So it's another income stream. And not only that, this particular platform that we're using for this, there is an affiliate MLM business attached to that. So you've got multiple income streams from that, not just actually growing your pot of money, but by introducing other people to it. The companies will, there is a compensation scheme from the companies for bringing other people in, because obviously, you know, you pay to use the platform that you're growing your money on. So it's just to explain that and to be open and transparent about that.
Brilliant. And I think both me and you have had experiences in the past with MLM companies, and there's lots of skepticism behind it, but they are an incredibly intelligent business model that they have there, and you know, it works. It does work, and if you can either be with it or not, and it's completely
it's either your thing or it's not. Absolutely.
And it's totally your choice. Okay, so we're going to wrap up a little bit now, but I just wanted to talk on one last thing that I know that you're doing at the moment. And so Susan came to us a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, I've got this idea. We're like, she goes, I don't know whether to say it. No, say it. We're like, say it. And she goes, right, I think I'm going to go live on Facebook, set up a page and start giving little videos, little live videos to people within the community to talk about gratitude. She said she found this little book, gratitude book, and she wanted to basically spread the love and spread happiness, gratitude, and inspiration to others. So every morning at 7:30, Susan's live on Facebook without fail. And she is giving her wisdom and her insights and really starting people off positively for the day. And I just wanted to talk about that because you're very focused on well-being, especially through the practice of gratitude, and really supporting and nurturing people through their journey. So I wanted to touch on that because I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you for that, and I really, really value your support that you've given me for the last kind of 14 days or so, Anna. I really do, so thank you. As Anna said, it just was an idea, and as I've touched on throughout the course of this chat, I go, yeah, let's give it a go, see what happens. Having no idea how it would be received, and it really was designed to be a wee 5-minute of gratitude, and following the practices through the book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I'm following the practices, but I'm putting a different tilt on them. I'm putting a Susan slant on them, so it's not following it to the letter, but you know, it has to be acknowledged that's where the principles are coming from. And what started off was a couple of minutes every morning ended up with about 50 minutes.
I don't know whether it's ever a couple of minutes. I put that in the link today, because I didn't get up at 7:30. I was doing other things, I completely forgot, and so I watched the record. And Susan was saying, right, it started off at 5 minutes. I was like, I don't think one of these calls has been 5 minutes.
No,
but they're brilliant.
I think the shortest one was last Saturday. Last Saturday morning, I thought nobody's going to want to be on this on a Saturday morning. I think I got out in 13 minutes last Saturday.
Wow.
So. But the thing is, it's about starting your day grateful for whatever in your life. It could be your family, it could be your house, it could be your bed, it could be water coming out the tap, it could be anything. And choosing a couple of things every day and being consistent in your gratitude every morning, and then taking a gratitude stone, and when you go to bed at night, thinking of, there you are, that's Anna's.
That's my, a lot of people have, I've got a very abstract one.
I love yours. Yours is very unique. Mine's just a big pebble. And the funny thing about that is when I take that to bed at night to think of the best thing that's happened throughout the day, my husband gets a bit worried because, you know, his wife's going to bed with a big stone in their hand. So
keep him away.
Right, you know, watch it.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and you know, that's the kind of tone of the group. Now we put it out on the Monday morning, and immediately people started coming on, and I thought, I'm going to create a wee Facebook page here and see if anybody wants to, because I thought if they want to share things, they might not want to do it on a public domain, at least if it's in a group and they want to open up a wee bit. Because gratitude's a really emotive thing. You think you're just saying thanks for things, but all sorts of things come out of it. So anyway, we started the group. It was a fortnight ago. We've got 90 odd members.
Insane.
And we've got a lovely young lad who is very spiritual and very into meditation, who's set himself a challenge to get me meditating, I think. But anyway, and that'll be a challenge. But it's working, I have to say. Yeah. So massive thanks to Toby Tobias Matthews, is his name on Facebook. And he is every second or third day doing a meditation practice in bite-sized chunks. So if you want to do a minute, you can, just to get yourself into the habit of it. But that, you know, I talked earlier on about the website and stuff about finding your thing, whatever that thing may be. And I'm definitely coming round to the idea that gratitude practice and encouraging and coaching people through gratitude practice is emerging as my thing.
Oh, and it's so powerful. Like literally I wake up in the morning and the first thoughts that come into my head is, what am I thankful for? Literally nothing. And I'm like, it is. And then you know, I put my feet over the side of the bed and it's thank you. And, you know, it's really, there's simple practices, but it can really change your mindset. And just going on, not that he knows this next yet, but I think I'm going to do another call with Toby or Tobias. We call him Toby. I'm going to have another call with him, which might lead on really nicely from this call. So I'm going to request that. Right, I think we've done enough talking.
Thank you.
It's been lovely, and thank you so much. And guys, I will put the links below here, so if you want to reach out to Susan at any time, you can. And yeah, find out about her Forex business, her happiness and gratitude page. You're all welcome to come. Like we said, it's a very safe and secure environment to be in, and it's a very supportive group. And yeah, and visit her website too, just see how it's grown, how she's come from 0 to hero, very, you know, by putting in the work and putting in the effort. And yeah, you can see where you can get to. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and have a lovely day. And I think we'll say see you later. Bye. I never know how to wrap up these calls.